Oh, hi there, everyone. Welcome to another Cardwell's Cauldrons here at Geektopia Island. I'm Cardwell,
And I'm Kevin.
and today we're actually going to try a new format.
Hey!
I do not like new formats. I only really enjoy Standard, to be honest. But when I realized Pioneer's set list, I was like, oh, I can play one of my favorite decks of all time that I've ever made, and I thought I'd share it with everyone for sure.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, let's do that. But of course, before we do, go ahead and remind you that we do have a Patreon. It only takes $1 to support us, and we'd love you very much if you do so. And of course, we still love you for viewing our channel and all that fun stuff, giving up comments. But let me show you, like I said, my favorite deck I've ever made. Plus, it was actually feared amongst the community because it was just super fun and amazing. But I originally called it Bounce House, and it's pretty fun. It's a band deck, of course. And let's just jump into it, right?
Let's delve into it.
The first one, of course, is Eldrazi Displacer. That's the main cornerstone of the deck, and he brings all the shenanigans, and I love that on a stick that I can just bounce whatever I want. Yeah. Your side, my side, and all that stuff. So he's a 3-drop, 2 and a white, 3/3, which is always good. He has Devoid, so this card has no color, so he's colorless. And he has an ability, 2 and a waste, exile another target creature, then return it to the battlefield tapped under its owner's control. So this one allows you to do shenanigans on your side, and also makes it where they don't have a blocker. So at the end of their turn, you're just like basically tap all your dudes is what happens.
Mm-hmm.
And he's so much fun. So let's get into it.
He enables a whole lot of silly stuff.
Oh yeah, for sure.
The next creature we got is the Sylvan Advocate. He is a 2-drop, a green and 1 for a 2/3 vigilance. Yeah. And as long as you control 6 or more lands, he gets +2/+2. No. And land creatures you control get +2/+2. Yeah. Forgot about that part. I haven't seen this dude in a minute, so I kind of forgot about him. But no. He's ridiculous because you're just like 2 mana, I have a 4/5. Sure, it's going to take a little bit, but I don't care. Does not matter. This guy is a powerhouse, and he was a powerhouse in Standard for a very long time. Oh, yeah. There was a point in my brewing career where I'm like, some cards are just powerful enough where you have to play them. Like, you can't just get around it. And this is one of them, because this creature is just insane. Now, a creature that no one played with is Bounding Krasis. 1 green and a blue, 3/3 as well for 3, so good stats back then. It has flash. When Bounding Krasis enters the battlefield, you may tap or untap target creature. Now this makes it where you can out-tempo the damage for sure. Just insanely amount. Yeah, and with the Displacer, you're just like, cool, end of turn, I'm going to bounce this dude out and untap your dude or untap this other dude. Yeah, exactly. And the untap will actually come into play later on when we get to it. But the fact that you're just like, their turn 3, they swing on your turn 3 or whatever, turn 4, swing dude, you're like, nope, tap that dude. On my turn, I'm swinging 5 or 6 or a large amount of damage for sure. Yeah. Next up is the Matter Reshaper. He is a colorless and 2 for a 3/2 Eldrazi, and he is still colorless. Whenever he dies, reveal the top card of your library. You may put that card onto the battlefield if it's a permanent card with convert mana cost 3 or less. Otherwise, put that card in your hand. So, 3 mana, you get a 3/2 dude that gets to attack, and you're going to get a card regardless. Whether it's in play or into your hand, it does not matter. So, I don't see anything wrong with this dude, really. Yeah, this guy is insane. And what's funny is in Standard, he wasn't really played. In Modern, he was. After the set rotated, which was really weird. But in Standard, nothing. Modern, of course, you've probably heard of this guy, and he's worth it. He's insanely good. Yeah, he does a lot. Now, my favorite annoying card of that set as well is Reflector Mage. And I was extremely sad when they banned it when set rotated in Standard. But 1 white, blue, and colorless. He's a 2/3. Enters the battlefield, return target creature an opponent controls to its owner's hand. That creature's owner can't cast spells with the same name as that creature until your next turn. So with Eldrazi Displacer, you just keep bouncing this to all their dudes back in their hand, and they can't play anything. Yeah, it's really dumb to lock somebody out like that. I've been locked down like that, and it's not fun.
Yeah, yeah. And I have locked out people, and it's extremely fun that way for sure. And as of this recording, it is not banned in Pioneer.
Yeah.
So we'll see how long that lasts.
Right. Next up is Spell Queller. It is a white, blue, and 1 for a 2/3 flying with flash. And whenever this enters the battlefield, exile target spell with career mana cost 4 or less. Whenever it leaves the battlefield, the exiled card's owner may cast the card without paying its cost.
Yep.
This card is insane because it says spell. So if they have a counter spell, you're just nah, Spell Queller. Give me that counter spell.
Give me that. They have a Planeswalker. Give me that.
Yeah. And since it says leaves the battlefield, if you get a counter spell underneath him and they play another spell you don't want to deal with, you're just like, Eldrazi Displacer, pull him out, counter your spell because I get to cast it now.
Yeah.
And oh no, the exiled owner's card. Sorry, never mind. I misread that.
But still, you're not casting the Spell Queller at that point, so their counter spell fizzles off, and then you just grab their new spell.
Yeah.
And you're just like, nope, mine.
Yeah, Spell Queller's so dumb. I remember playing against him, and he's really, really strong for 3 mana.
He's redonkulous, and the fact that if they try to kill him to get whatever's underneath, you exile him the Displacer, the other spell goes on the stack, this comes into play, and you can just nab it again. You're just like, no, it's still under here, we're just safe.
Yeah.
Now, a super secret tech that I love playing with is Void Grafter. He is a 1 green blue Eldrazi, 2/4, which actually really mattered back then. He has flash, and when Void Grafter enters the battlefield, another target creature you control gains hexproof until end of turn. So, I usually always play Ranger's Guile or Now Dive Down that everyone knows, but I use this guy because he's a creature and he's just good. He's just insanely awesome.
Yeah, cool. What's better than hexproof as a spell? Hexproof on a dude.
Exactly, and the fact that you can just keep doing it with Eldrazi Displacer.
Yeah, Displacer, you just blink out and you're like, nah, don't target that dude.
No, don't target. Sorry. You have to kill him first. Good luck, but it's not going to happen.
Yeah. Next up is Dragonlord Ojutai. He is a blue, white, and 3 for a 5/4 flyer. He has hexproof as long as he is untapped. And then whenever he deals combat damage to a player, look at the top 3 cards of your deck. Put one of them in your hand and the rest on the bottom in the library of any order. So this is the card that you use to untap with the Bounding Krasis, so he gets to have hexproof. And Dragonlord Ojutai was one of the best dragons they've ever printed, and in that format, I remember him being everywhere.
Yeah, it was him and Slumgar, and that's about it.
Yeah, because he does so much for you. Because you're just cool, hit 5, that's a quarter of your life, and I get to dig for cards.
Yeah, and a 5/4 in blue-white is pretty much unthinkable back then. That was rare to have that much power on a blue-white flyer.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that you can just literally, I don't know how many times I swung with him. They're like, okay, kill him. You're like, Bounding Krasis, untap him. He has hexproof. Look at the top 3 cards. Oh, I got a Void Grafter or Bounding Krasis. And then you just do that. You just protect him every way, and he'll just win you the game.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. He's just insanely strong. Also, another card that was completely broken, and I'm surprised it wasn't banned, is Dromoka's Command. It's a green and a white instant. You get to choose 2 out of all these options. So, prevent all damage, target instant or sorcery spell that would deal this turn. Target player sacrifices an enchantment. Put a 1/1 counter on target creature. Or, target creature you control fights target creature you don't control. That's all you need to know. It's just that strong.
I remember this card too.
Yeah,
it's fun to play against, to play these cards again, because you get to remember how ridiculous they were. Because it's 2 mana, prevent your lightning bolt from hitting me. Thanks.
Yeah, thanks.
Prevent your lightning bolt and he gets a counter, or prevent your lightning bolt and my dude fights your dude now. Thanks.
Yeah. And I don't know the seriousness and cautiousness if you're fighting against a Dromoka's Command as well.
Mm-hmm.
But, who gets to do it first? That was the whole chess game there.
Yeah.
Who can set off the other person's command first? That's how it was.
One of the new additions to the deck is Once Upon a Time. It is a 3 instant. If this spell is the first spell you've cast this game, you may cast it without paying its cost. Look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may reveal a creature or land card from among them and put it into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. So it's essentially free turn 1 to get a creature or a land. And put it in your hand. And there's a reason it's $28 right now, and it's kind of crazy.
Yeah, it's insanely crazy. And the fact that with this deck, there's a lot of 3-drops. So on your turn 2, if you haven't got land, you haven't really played a spell. So you immediately just cast this on their turn. Like, all right, I need to get my 3rd land. Or instant cast, oh, I need a Reflector Mage on my next turn. Oh, I found one. Or even Spell Queller turn 5, you know? You cast this, oh, you got a Spell Queller, then pick off their spell that they casted.
That is pretty silly, because it's an instance. You're just like, end of your turn, I didn't play spell. Let me go get a thing.
Yeah, exactly.
That's disgusting.
It's an insanely good card. I didn't give it as much credit until I realized, like, definitely in older formats of how busted it can really be. Now, this is what they called a Cardwell card, because no one used it, and I loved it a lot. It's Eldritch Evolution, 1 and 2 green, sorcery. As an additional cost to cast Eldritch Evolution, sacrifice a creature. Search your library for a creature card with converted mana cost X or less, where X is 2 plus the sacrifice creature's mana cost. Put the card on the battlefield, then shuffle your library, and then exile this card. So this is how I get Ojutai in quicker. So I come and play, turn 3, I Reflector Mage something, turn 4, I just Matter Reshaper, and then done. Ojutai is on the field. And then you just control the board from there and just win.
Mm-hmm.
Or if you like kill a Reflector Mage or a Matter Reshaper into another Reflector Mage, and then you get something else off the Matter Reshaper, you know? It's just that good.
Yeah, you get so much value out of this card just by being able to get a bigger dude.
Yeah, it's super fun. It really is.
And now, one of the other big players in Pioneer for a while.
Yeah, you have to.
Is Collected Company. It is a 3 instant. Look at the top 6 of your library. Put up to 2 creature cards with converted mana cost 3 or less from among them into the battlefield. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. So, any of your dudes except Ojutai, you get. You literally get all of those dudes.
All of them.
And it's an instant, so you can shoot the moon and hopefully get a Spell Queller on their spell they're playing.
I've done it before.
It's dangerous, but if you have to do it, you have to do it. But it gives you so much value, because you can be like, cool, into your turn, put 2 dudes into play, get a Bounding Krasis and an Eldrazi Displacer.
Yeah.
Great. Or double Reflector Mage is really dumb, because you're just like, cool, Collected Company, double Reflector Mage, bounce those dudes, don't play them. Thanks. Yeah. Collected Company is so strong.
It's so extremely strong.
If you're playing green in Pioneer, definitely think about playing Collected Company, because it is a insanely powerful card.
Like, and with so many creatures out there, even in the new sets, just like I have bigger dudes. For 4 mana, I have 6 costing power, which could be a lot of things nowadays. Now the next one is also another command, Ojutai's command actually. 2 white and a blue. You get to choose 2 instant. Return target creature card with converted mana cost 2 or less from the graveyard to the field. I don't know how many times I've played this card and brought back a Sylvan Advocate that got killed real soon, because that's going to happen. They're going to Fatal Push it and like, okay, well later on it's going to become a 4/6 or whatever for 4 mana. And then you can also gain 4 life, counter target creature spell, and then draw a card. So my favorite thing to do is to counter target creature and then go get an Advocate from the graveyard and put it in the field. And then you're just winning from there.
Yeah, you are definitely winning the match.
Yeah. Like I said, and that's it. I did up the lands to 24. In the original deck, I had 23, and it worked out pretty well. But nowadays, 24 has kind of become the basic for me. It's super fun. It really is. So let's go over the lands, because new players might not even know what these lands do, right? So
yeah.
First off, Canopy Vista. Enters the battlefield tapped unless you control 2 or more basic lands. Now, we do have quite a bit of basic lands in here. Of course, we can have shock lands and all that, but we don't want to deal with that because of Eldrazi Displacer and Matter Reshaper. Those require waste, which is colorless mana. And that's why we also have like Corrupted Crossroads, which is tap, add a waste to your mana pool, and then you can pay and tap and pay 1 life to add 1 mana of any color pool. Spend this only on Void cards, which would be Eldrazi Displacer.
And Void Grafter.
Yeah,
Void as well.
That's correct, and Void Grafter as well. Now, the next one is Fabled Passage. It's the other new addition. I actually literally had Evolving Wilds in this deck, which people might scoff at, but hey, you needed it at the time. But this one, sacrifice Fabled Passage, search your deck for a basic land card, put it into play, and then shuffle your library. And then if you control 4 or more lands, untap it. So that will actually super help in this deck. Because, I'm going to go ahead and say it now, there's a waste in the deck. Now, a waste is actually a basic land. It's a colorless basic land, and you can go search it up with this. And that's usually what I did with Evolving Wilds immediately, as soon as possible.
Yeah, that's pretty silly.
Now we have Lumbering Falls, which is basically, it's a green and a blue. It enters the battlefield tap no matter what, but you can pay 4. 2 green, blue, becomes a 3/3 green, blue elemental creature with hexproof until end of turn. It's still a land. So if you have Sylvan Advocate out there and you have 6 lands, it's a 5/5 with hexproof.
Yeah.
If you have 2 Sylvan Advocates, it's a 7/7 with hexproof.
Yeah, that seems real good.
Yeah. That card has won a lot of games for me, for sure. Now, Prairie Stream is also the other Zendikar land. Enters battlefield unless you control 2 or more basic lands. And Yavimaya Coast, which is a cornerstone of the land deck because it's a pain land. And if you don't know what that means, you basically add a green or blue and you take 1 damage. Or you can tap it for a colorless, which helps with the wastes for Eldrazi Displacer. And also, of course, Matter Reshaper. And there we go. Those are the lands. So there's the special lands. Since the fetch lands are banned, we can't use them, so no need for that, right?
Yeah, it's okay. They're good, but they don't need to be in this format.
Yeah, they really don't. They would be pointless, and it would take too long, and I don't think it would be fun with them.
No, not as much.
Yeah. And from there, we usually do honorable mentions or sideboards or whatnot, but there's none at the moment because I actually don't know what's in Pioneer. It's basically just a bunch of top tier decks that was back in the day, like Nexus of Fate and Copycat. So depending on if your LGS is playing, you just focus around there. Basically more counters for blue and protection spells, and that's about it, really.
Pretty much.
Yeah. But with that, like I said, I've won plenty of tournaments with this deck. And if you need the deck list, it'll be down below the video. And hopefully you enjoyed your stay here at Geektopia Island. Goodbye.
Later.
Also, guys, just remind y'all to hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and if you want to keep up to date on all our future content, make sure you click that bell. It'll give you all the notifications you need.
With that, we'd like to go ahead and give a big thank you to all our fans that support us through the year, and especially our Patreon support people. We do like to give a shout out to our Mythic and Above supporters, and that would be Dwayne Higgs. Thank you very much. We love you.